So I'm just now getting home. I had a long day. I went to church, then I went to go see Birth of a Nation, and I just left from having dinner. For Birth of a Nation, it was a really good movie. A lot of people talked about having a box of Kleenex, but I think I did pretty good. I did cry. I mostly cried when the women were taken advantage of. It's just that feeling of being a woman and knowing that pain. Like, I really can't imagine, or even would like to imagine, being in those times where, the women, they had husbands, but the husband wanted to defend them, but really couldn't. And besides that, I was reading online where the movie didn't do that well for the first week. And I don't think that's such a big deal about numbers at this point. Comparing it to like other slave movies, like 12 Years a Slave, where we're like really oppressed, or The Help, they do. The box numbers of those movies are like really high the first week, but I just think that the legacy of this movie is more important than the numbers at the box office. And so like I have six nieces and I have two nephews, and when they see a movie like this, their questions are answered. Yes, the black people, they did rebel. Not all black people just stayed on a plantation and stayed in the house and was quiet. Okay, so now on the subject of the attendance in the theater, there were quite a few people in the theater. It's a mixed group of people. I saw some African Americans in the theater. I saw some Caucasian people as well as Hispanics, and they were all crying. I think we're all getting to a point now with what's going on in our country that we can accept the fact that it's okay to not be black, but to understand. You really can't understand what it's like to be in a black person's skin. I think just having compassion and just acknowledge, even for myself, like I won't ever understand what it's like to have white privilege. Like I won't understand what it's like to have white skin. And my point of all that is, whether I understand or not, just having compassion and just acknowledging that there is a difference and what can I do to, my goal would to be to bridge the gap. So we know there's a difference, we acknowledge it, there's a situation. So what are the solutions? How are we gonna get over this? And the number one thing that comes to my mind is getting people out of their comfort zone. Sometimes you have to get a little uncomfortable. And when you get uncomfortable, change can happen from being uncomfortable. Getting yourself in a situation where you only have two options, and you're either going to fight your way out or you're going to flee. Instead of fighting each other, let's stand up and fight together for change instead of fleeing and running away from the situation as it doesn't exist at all.